The poriferans are strange, lifeless, plant like creatures which are commonly known as sponges. Poriferans are all aquatic and mostly they are marine, except one family that is Spongilidae and it has Spongilla. It is a freshwater sponge. It looks like conch shell. They are sessile and sedentary. That's why they cannot move from one place to another and they are attached to a rock with the help of holdfast. If you remember, in case of alga, the base was known as holdfast. So here also the holdfast is there, which is the base of the poriferans. The body shape is vase-like or cylinder-like, but majority of them of the form they are flat, globular, or irregular shaped with branching masses. This organ, as because the body shape is little irregular, they are asymmetrical organisms and sometimes they can be radially symmetrical as well. The body surface is perforated with pores and that's why they are known as porifera. Large number of pores are present in the entire body and each of the pore is known as ostia, whereas there is a large pore which is present at the center at this place and it is known as osculum. Through the osculum water enters inside and along with the water the food particles also enter and it is absorbed by the different specialized cells inside the body of the organism and then again the water is expelled out. The multicellular organisms with these are multicellular organisms with cellular level of organization. They do not have presence of tissue or any other specialized structure within them. The body is these organisms are diploblastic with presence of outer ectoderm and inner endoderm. There is intermediate mesenchymal layer but it is very thin and is not well developed. The interior spaces of the body is either hollow or or has presence of some guanocyte cells within it. The interior space is spongy and is known as spongocoel. The characteristic skeleton is made up of, or the outer hard structure is made up of spongine fibers, siliceous spicules, or calcareous spicules. Mouth is absent, digestion is intracellular, and excretory and respiratory organs are not present in case of the poriferans. If you see the entire structure of the internal structure of the Porifera, it looks somewhat like this. Spongiocele is the inside cavity, which is filled with nothing. There is no, as such, fluid which is filled in the spongiocele. It is just a hollow cavity which has presence of various cells at the corners. If you can see, porocyte is present, which as the name suggests they are capable of creating pores, so some water can move inside with the help of these pores and along with the water there may be movement of some food particles within the osculum or within the body cavity, spongiocele I should say. Spicules are calcareous or um, are either calcareous or made up of spongine fibers. They are tough and help in protecting the organism against predators. The epidermal layer is the outermost layer to which the skeletal is attached. Mesenchymal layer is the middle layer, and the mesenchymal layer at times gives rise to the endodermal layer. So what we can understand by the entire body system of these poriferans is they have presence of these two cells, guanocyte cells, which help in filtering the food particles or the food nutritious food particles, and amoebocytes are the ones which are capable of taking in the food from which has been directed by the guanocytes to the amoebocytes. These are three common sponges. Spongilla, which is a freshwater sponge. See the structure properly and try to remember. Freshwater sponge is spongilla. Euspongia, Cycon. These are three of the common sponges which or common example of poriferans. The choanocytes or the collar cells, the function is it helps in catching the prey or filtering the water. They digest the food and they are nutritive cells. Definite digestive system or respiratory system is not present, but still, along with all these different kinds of cells, the organism is capable of surviving. Archaeocytes are the sex cells and they form the gamules. Asexual reproduction is carried out by budding, whereas as well as gamete formation. So poriferan animals are bisexuals. They all are bisexual, and the fertilization is internal in case of the poriferans. You will also find that most of the poriferans they produce the larva, which is the parenchyma or amphiblastula. The sponges they have a very high capacity of regeneration, and the reproductive structure, which is gamule, it is we'll study in details about it. First thing is some of the examples are given over here. You all need to learn about all these examples, especially euspongia. It is commonly known as bath sponge, so that is also to be learned. And Cycon is there, which is also a spongilla, which is a very important sponge or freshwater sponge. So these two names you can remember along with some other from here. We were discussing about this is the osculum which you can see, and the sponges they look like just cups which are attached to the substratum of the sea floor. If you see the entire structure of this gamule in case of sponges, you can see that micropyle is there. Micropyle is the site of attachment to the substratum, and as soon as the micropyle attaches to the substratum, the gamules is fixed and now it is capable of growth. So outer membrane is there. Archaeocytes, all the archaeocytes are arranged inside the micropyle, or micropyle is the area with which it attaches to the substratum. Then after the entire growth into a sponge will take place as the time proceeds. So this is all about the sponges, and we all need to learn minimum of five specialized characters. And if I want to summarize those five specialized characters, first thing must be the name itself. So presence of pores throughout the body, and the pores are known as ostia. The second thing is presence of osculum, which is present as the central cavity, and through the osculum, the movement of water along with the food and oxygen takes place inside the spongiocele, which is the inner cavity, and then again the water is expelled out either by the small pores or through the osculum itself. Third important point is presence of calcareous or uh, spongine fibers, exoskeleton, which is protective. The entire body of the sponge is attached with the help of holdfast to the substratum, and there is production of the these organisms they are capable of formation of gamules, and they also show very high power of regeneration. You can also talk about the specialized cells, the amoebocytes, which are capable of trapping the or taking up the food particles, co- choanocytes, which help in filtering the food, and the porocytes, which allow the movement of substances inside the spongiocele of the sponge. Even you can write about the archaeocytes, which are the sex cells. The presence of larval stage is there, and it is amphiblastula or parenchyma. And with this, uh, also the symmetry is very important. Diploblastic organisms, they all are diploblastic. That is also very important. So these few points, if you can remember, along with the cellular level of organization, I think it is way too sufficient.